This place is great, really comfortable. I'm just gonna get settled in. Time to move on. Get on with my life. Yes, absolutely. Now, like I said, it was a long time ago. Let it go. Seriously.
Hey, what's going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario. Anyways, first off, I'm sorry if the voice quality on here is different. I am using a MacBook Air at the moment to record my commentary. Anyways, I'm here not to talk about this, but to talk about a review for an awesome game. That game, of course, is Max Payne 3. Yes, I'm probably the only person who bought both games and is still, well, that and Diablo 3 is what I was referencing to, and still has not played Diablo 3 after a week. But do I feel like I'm missing out on anything? No, not really. I mean, first off, Max Payne is really one of my all-time favorite series. I've been playing it since Max Payne 1, which came out in 2001. I was like, what, like 8 years old at the time when I was playing it. That was a pretty heavy game to be playing when I was 8. So, yeah, this is really, thinking about it, this is really the only game I've been excited for this year, besides The Darkness 2. The funny thing is with The Darkness 2, I totally forgot it was coming out, so when it came out, I was like, oh, hey, it's out, and it was there. But while I was with Max Payne, this one of the few games I was happy it was delayed. It was supposed to come out in March, but it ended up coming out May 15th. I was very happy about that because that meant that it came out right after my semester was over, so I wouldn't have to worry about doing finals or anything like that. Anyways, let's provide you all with some backstory if you have not played the game, or if you just need some backstory to refresh you all on this. Now, Max's family was murdered while he was still working in New York, and he has to find out who plotted the murder of his family and all that. He later falls for a woman named Mona Sachs in the second game, and they have their fun and all that, but she's a fugitive, he's a detective at the time. The first one, he's a DEA agent, if I remember correctly, and that's really a little TLDR of the first two games. I know it's not very informative, but hey, I don't want to give away any spoilers. Now, when you come to Max Payne 3, Max is a raging alcoholic ex-cop who's been a hired bodyguard. He's with his friend Passos, and they are in Brazil. And they originally met in New York. Passos ends up flying out there to meet Max, and they end up going to the police academy together. That was their history, even though Max doesn't really remember it. Now, they're hired to look after one of the most important political families in Brazil. This is in the middle of a huge political race and a terrible drug issue going on. Now, at the beginning, there's this party going on, everyone's having fun, and it all goes downhill when the family's trying to get killed and kidnapped and just all this other fun stuff. That's the little intro to the game. I don't really want to give away too much, but let's actually get into the review. Now, the graphics, if you know anything about Rockstar's recent games, you know that ever since GTA 4, they've been using the Euphoria engine, and they look awesome. I mean, just this completely exceeded not the limits, but like it just completely exceeded my opinion of the Euphoria engine. I didn't think it could get any better, but of course Rockstar delivers, and they brought us a better looking engine. And it's the best physics engine, really. It's one of the best looking engines out there. I cannot praise it enough. What astounded me most is that I'm not playing this game on PC. I was playing it on the Xbox, but this game looks great on 7-year-old hardware. This game came out this year, 2012, and the Xbox 360 is from 2005. And yes, it's not technically full HD. I know. It's gonna look better on PC anyways. PC gets it 2 weeks later than the consoles, but it looks excellent on consoles. I was surprised. And this is, without a doubt, the best looking Rockstar game I've ever seen. Now, the actual cutscenes, they decided to drop the whole cartoon comic storybook type thing, which I really liked in the first two, but now they decided to fully utilize the Euphoria engine. So all the cutscenes are rendered through there. However, they are very Kane and Lynch 2-esque. If you ever played that game, I'm not a fan of the Kane and Lynch games, but they had it so it was set up so it's kind of like, I don't know, a homemade YouTube movie, so to speak. So there was distortion and shaky cameras and all that. And they do kind of a cross between that. They do some distortion and such, and they also do a type of cinematic experience, which I really like. Now, the only time you will see a pre-rendered cutscene in this game is when you're watching the TVs in here. Yes, you can still activate TVs in the game, although not as many. You can still activate them and watch TV shows. But aside from that, every single other part of the game is not pre-rendered. It is not pre-rendered. It's using the actual in-game engine. And this just completely astounded me. And what I loved was that there are no loading screens at all in the game. The only time there's a loading screen is when you are booting up the game into the main menu, and then when you load your save file. Those are the only two times there will be loading screens. And I love playing a game that's like that. It's just completely flawless. It goes from chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. You never see a loading screen. That's it. And the reason why they do this is because they do all the loading. There's quite a lot of loading to do for the game since it's so big, but they do it during cutscenes. So there might be some cutscenes, they might take a while to skip, but, for a game like this, why would you want to skip out on the story? Now, I only really noticed like one texture pop up at one point in the game, and that was like when I looked off into the distance, and it happened for half a second on, I think, chapter 12 or 13, one of the two. But that's not enough to knock on the graphics. There's a few items that clip here and there, but again, nothing bad. It's not like it's a terrible graphical glitch that's going to completely ruin the game, or it's not like not Skyrim, it's not like Oblivion where you can melt your character models and such.
Hey, Marcel, I think I might have an interesting investment for your brother.
Well, call him up, homie.
I haven't seen him before. Last week was Fashion Week. My God, Egypt, but so beautiful. You know Anastasia?
Oh, yeah, I know Anna.
I doubt she can't even spell, but I love her.
Here we come to the sound of the game. First off, the voice cast on here is just absolutely astounding. They do such an excellent job with their vocal work. I just love it. And I think the one part everyone really loved about this is that they brought back Max's voice actor. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but it is the same voice actor from Max Payne 1 and 2, and he again reprised his role as Max Payne 3. He does an excellent job. He still has the best quotes ever, he still has some of the best lines, and his voice is still there and better than ever. The soundtrack in here is awesome. Now, Max Payne, to me, it always delivered some unforgettable tunes, but this one is just great. And the main, what I'm trying to think of, the main song that was used like in the trailers and such, it's called Tears by the band Hell. Now, I had not heard of them before this, but I absolutely love that song. I'm just saying, very late in the game, like the last level of the game, they do utilize that song in-game, and they do a very epic job with it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's just everyone I've seen online has agreed that that's one of the best parts in the game. I mean, the sound just made this game really epic. The voice actors were on point. The gun sounds were on point. Everything was perfect there. I never noticed any issues with the sound at all. Just everything's well-rounded, and it's how a game is supposed to be built. Of course, we need to cover gameplay as well, because a game could have good graphics and sound, but if the gameplay's bad, you're not going to be playing it. Hence, Call of Duty World at War, but let's not talk about that. No, let's not talk about that. Now, the controls are pretty much the same as Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto 4 if you've played them. However, for this setting, for Max Payne, they have been improved and they're even tighter now, just for gunfights. I thought it really worked out. Now, of course, for me, I had to get used to it again because I had not played Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto in a while. But I would say after the first few chapters of playing it, you get quite used to them. It's not that bad. Bullet time is back. Yes, it is back, and it is very fun to use. I absolutely love bullet time. Now, they did use the painkillers differently, and I love how they took this approach on the painkillers. If you remember in Max Payne 1 or 2, there was just a button and you could hit that and you could use how many painkillers you wanted to at any time. However, now, you have your painkillers automatically saved up and the game chooses when you want to use them. When your when your damage meter is full, it cuts into bullet time and you have to kill one person. Now, the cool thing is with this is probably the most powerful point when you're shooting, because it doesn't matter what gun you're using or who you're shooting, it's pretty much at this moment, one shot, one kill. So if you can shoot someone, you get out of bullet time mode and you use a painkiller. So that's how you recharge in this game. While if you don't kill someone, you just die. And then you can reload your save, so it's not really that big of a deal. Now, one addition that I loved, and it really isn't an addition, it's just more of an integration, but since they're using the Euphoria engine, they brought in the Euphoria engine's cover system to this game. While as the first two games did not have a cover system of any kind, this game I feel like really needed it, because it is a harder game, and I absolutely love the cover system. I couldn't find any faults with it while playing around with it. It's just really fun to use, it's really nice, and I do enjoy it. It gets the job done, and it gets it done very well. Trust me on that. Of course, any Max Payne player is going to want to hear about the storyline. I absolutely loved the storyline on here. I mean, it keeps you going, it's addictive, and it's just, this is one thing where the no loading screen thing really helps, because it doesn't take you out of the focus of the storyline. It's all seamless, and it's almost like a movie. I actually thought of this today, but Max Payne, really with the storyline, it kind of reminded me of Heavy Rain. While as the storylines aren't the same in any way, if you've ever played Heavy Rain, which is a PS3 exclusive, to my knowledge, I don't really remember any loading screens. I think there were some, but what I loved about it is that Heavy Rain, the best way to explain the gameplay and the experience is that it is a movie that you control. And this means that for the player, it was fun, but I had several friends who just watched me play it, and they absolutely loved it, because it's just pretty much watching a movie. And that's how Max Payne 3 is. Like, it's not a boring game to watch, because it has so many cutscenes, so many cinematics, that for a player or a viewer, they will enjoy it either way. At some points, I think the person viewing the game might like it even more, just because they don't have to worry about getting killed in a gunfight or anything. But there is never a dull moment in the storyline. There were several wow moments, several jaw-dropping moments, and several parts where I just yelled, "Awesome! Oh my god, what just happened?" I was just so excited while playing this game, and I couldn't find any faults with it. It really shows a new side to Max, and I love the whole addiction side of it, but it really shows a new point to him, and I don't feel like he's aged, which is amazing, because, I mean, the series has been out for a while, and quite a few in-game years have passed, but it doesn't really feel like he aged, to be honest. This is honestly one of the best storylines that I've played through in a game. I absolutely loved it. I can't really praise it anymore. Now, there's some criticism I want to address in this, okay? There are two things that I've heard most about people complaining about the game. And honestly, these are two complaints coming from mostly people who don't know how to play the Max Payne series. The first is that it's impossible to play without bullet time. This is completely irrelevant, okay? If you don't know how to take cover and slow down time using bullet time, you just push in the right analog stick, then you shouldn't be playing the game. That's it. I mean, don't bash the game just because you don't know how to play it. If you talk to any Max Payne veteran, I mean, they're gonna tell you that's how you play the game. The term bullet time is trademarked. I mean, it's a big thing. It was a big thing that they pushed in Max Payne, it was a big thing that they pushed in Max Payne 2, and of course it's gonna come back in Max Payne 3. And it's impossible to play the game without it. I mean, yeah, they're gonna make it challenging without bullet time because it's there for a reason. This is completely irrelevant because it's almost like saying Call of Duty is stupid because it's impossible to play without guns, or Grand Theft Auto is dumb because it's impossible to play without driving. I mean, Max Payne and bullet time, they just go hand in hand. And if you can't deal with that, well, you shouldn't be playing this series in the first place. The second complaint I heard about, which I was really surprised with, people said the game had too many cutscenes. And here's the thing, Rockstar are, like, the people at Rockstar, they are excellent storytellers. They use their video games as a medium to get stories out there. So that's why there's so many cutscenes. And to me, I played through the game. I thought the cutscene amount was fine. I didn't think there were too many cutscenes, yet I didn't feel like there were any lacking. While I was with Max Payne 1 and 2, I did feel like sometimes where the gameplay dragged on a little too much, and they didn't show a cutscene when it was really needed. While I was with Max Payne 3, I absolutely loved it. However, it does have the type of Heavy Rain feel, where you just go from gameplay, cutscene really fast, but I did very well enjoy it. There were also some people I know who were saying that the second half of the game gets boring and that it's just the same thing over and over and it's repetitive. You know, I didn't feel that. Maybe I'm simple-minded, I don't know. I like to think I'm kind of a deep thinker and I'm smart, I guess, but no, I never felt that, to be honest. I never felt bored. I never felt like it was too repetitive. I never felt like there were too many cutscenes. I thought it was a very great game, so these criticisms, well, quote-unquote criticisms coming from people, I don't really know where they're stemmed from. Maybe this just isn't their type of game. I don't know. The last thing I really want to touch up on is the multiplayer. First off, this is a multiplayer component that I actually like. I was surprised because, you know, Grand Theft Auto, who buys Grand Theft Auto just for the multiplayer? Max Payne 3, I mean, here's the thing, going into this game, I didn't watch many trailers. I didn't read up on the game because I just didn't want to. I didn't want to spoil anything for myself. I just wanted to find out on my own, if you know what I mean. But what I loved about the multiplayer is that it's simple, but it's fun. It's a lot like Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption. Grand Theft Auto, I kind of got into the multiplayer, but then I got out of it. Red Dead, I was never a fan of the multiplayer. But this, I don't know why, I love it. Maybe it's the perfect setting for me, I don't know, but it's very fun to play around with, and it's one of those where the more I play it, the more I like it. And I think the reason why is because it's not like a game like Call of Duty where, you know, you play it and then after 10 minutes you want to throw your controller through the window. No, it's fun, it's nice, it's simple. I love it. There's customizable avatars and such. Like, by avatars I mean you can change up your player, change the features and all that, which is pretty self-explanatory, I guess. It's very competitive. It's very not like super fast. When you first play it, it does start off slow, but the more you play it, the more you get into that pace, and it's so fun. But you know, the one thing that I really hate in the multiplayer, I'll be honest, there is no realistic way, no proper way to mute people in game, and I hate that. Because there's people, like, most of the time I don't play with a mic. Hardly ever I play with a mic, but I don't want to hear people talking through my TV the whole time. It's just like, that will drive me nuts, because I don't want to, if I don't have my mic in, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear you. I'm just there to play the game. Now, in the lobby, there is a feature where while you're in the lobby, you can go over to the players and hit X and it mutes all, which is very nice. But when you're in game, you're not muting anyone. The only way I can think of that you can mute someone is if you bring up your guide and go to recent players and find the person's gamer tag and then go to the bottom and hit mute. But that's gonna take like 30 seconds, and in 10-minute death matches, 30 seconds is a lot of time. It really is. That can be the difference between winning or losing by 5 kills. So there's no realistic way of doing this. I really hope Rockstar will put this out in an update of some kind, but I just want to mute players in game. I don't want to hear people. I'm sorry. If there's a person who's talking the whole time, it's going to piss me off. It's not going to want to make me talk to him. Bottom line, this game completely exceeded and demolished any expectations I had for it. It went beyond and completely above what I thought Max Payne 3 would be. As I said, there were a few complaints that I had, like, not even complaints. Like, the biggest complaint I had was that there's no in-game mute option on multiplayer. But I don't think that's a crippling bug or anything. The only other complaint I could think of was, a texture pop, one texture pop I noticed in the whole game, and like 2 or 3 instances of clipping. But is that enough to destroy the experience? No, definitely not. Any Max Payne fan is going to enjoy this. I know some Max Payne fans, they didn't like it for some reason. I don't really know why. But I think even if you're a new player to the Max Payne franchise, you really should play it. And if you can, head over to Walmart and buy it. Because don't worry, I don't work for Walmart or anything. I'm not trying to promote them. But if you do buy it at Walmart while they still have these there, you can get a free downloadable copy of the first Max Payne. And trust me, I love me some Max Payne 1, trust me on that. The only reason why I didn't get it from Walmart, well, 2 reasons. 1, I was able to save money at GameStop. And 2, I already own Max Payne 1 and 2, so Max Payne 3, it's okay. Now, one kind of setback I have, I got the regular edition, but I honestly should have gotten the collector's edition. And I'm not saying that because I'm a collector, I'm saying it because I would not mind paying more than $100 for this game. Like, the game is just that good to me. It is so well crafted, it was so intriguing and amazing, and I absolutely loved it, that I would not have a problem paying $100 to play this game. When I finished the game, I wanted to take my wallet and throw money at my TV, hoping that it would somehow go to Rockstar and land in their pockets, because this game was just so good. Now, what do I think of the game in the end? This is a rarity coming from Mario, trust me, this is a big rarity. But this game gets a 10 out of 10. Yes, I'm giving Max Payne 3 on the 360 a perfect score all around. I could not find any reasons, any big reasons to give it anything less than a perfect score. I really couldn't. And this game it's gotten amazing reviews. This is the first time for me in years that I've actually been truly happy with the game. The last game I thought that I played that is deserving of a perfect score is Call of Duty 4. That came out in 2007. So 5 years later, I find another perfect game. So my final verdict, to me, it's the perfect game. I give it a 10 out of 10. Now, your opinion might vary, but I honestly think this is one of those games you have to play. And I think people should buy it, really. If you think you're interested in it, go out and buy it. It's that good of a game. I'm not trying to promote it. Trust me, I don't work for Rockstar. I wish I worked for Rockstar. That'd be so awesome. But I don't work for Rockstar. This game is fantastic. It's absolutely amazing in every single way, and I cannot stop praising it. This is really Game of the Year material right here. I still haven't played Diablo, so I can't say it's better than Diablo, but even then they are 2 different games. But this game is just, it's so good. I can't stop praising it. As I said, final verdict, 10 out of 10. This game, in my opinion, is a must-buy. If you are even remotely interested in this game, go out and pay the $65 to buy it. It's that good. Man. See, this is... Man, I was getting excited in this review, seriously. But anyways, this is Mr. Mario. I hope you all enjoyed my review. And, if you're playing Max Payne 3, maybe I'll see you on the servers. Anyways, as I said, this is Mr. Mario. Peace out.